Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to reiterate my support for the resolution of disapproval related to the sale of certain defense articles to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. While the resolution, unfortunately, did not pass the Senate in a recent vote, I believe its goals remain important. The Saudi-led military campaign in Yemen is fueling a humanitarian disaster. Over 10,000 people have died, and over 3 million people have been displaced as the conflict has exacerbated poverty, famine, and disease. According to UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, a cholera outbreak in Yemen could quadruple to infect 300,000 people in the coming weeks. Half of the current cholera cases affect children, and the ongoing conflict leaves few hospitals to turn to and almost no medical supplies. In addition to deaths related to famine and the outbreak of other diseases, we are seeing civilian casualties as a direct result of Saudi military action. Earlier this year, at a Senate Armed Services Committee, I asked General Votel, the commander of U.S. Central Command, which is responsible for the Middle East, to assess the cause of the large number of civilian casualties in Yemen. General Votel responded, and I quote, "I attribute those types of situations more to the competence of the forces that are operating there and their ability to properly target." So I'm concerned that even with the precision munitions the United States has sold to Saudi Arabia in the past, airstrikes continue to hit civilian targets. The number of civilian injuries and deaths shows that there is simply not enough progress to reduce civilian casualties. I could not, in good conscience, vote to support providing advanced precision munitions, bombs capable of hitting targets guided by laser targeting or GPS, to a campaign conducted by forces unable or unwilling to limit strikes to targets of military necessity. Civilian casualties are a tragedy, and they threaten to make us less safe by radicalizing populations that otherwise would not be sympathetic to violent extremist groups like Al-Qaeda. It is critical that the United States military is certainly able to hunt down terrorists wherever they operate or wherever they seek haven, and the deployment of remotely piloted aircraft has allowed for persistence, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, which is used to minimize the risk of civilian casualties. When the United States military carries out airstrikes, we know our men and women in uniform are the best trained in the world and are informed by the best available intelligence. Precision-guided munitions alone do not avoid preventable tragedies. It takes capable and fully trained personnel. This is what we must expect from our partners for the sake of innocent civilians caught in conflict zones and for our own national security. Failing to do so sets back the potential for a political solution. We simply should not send precision munitions or any weapon system to any partner with personnel that are not capable or trained to use them. That is why I supported the resolution of disapproval, which specifically objects to the sale of 3 specific types of precision-guided munitions and related technology. While this measure failed, I will continue to work as a member of the Armed Services Committee to provide oversight and hold the Saudi government and military accountable.